There are no shortcuts to success. And even those who gain fame and fortune quickly also lose it as quickly as they've gained it. But though there are no shortcuts to success, there is definitely a secret formula to success. And if you're curious to know what that is, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any video I post on Wednesdays. This is Lisa Maki, and I coach entrepreneurs in starting, building, and growing their small business successfully. I'm also the creator of Business School for You, an online business course that will help establish your business on what I call the building blocks of success. Everything I teach, whether in my videos, what I write on my blogs, my coaching programs, my training programs, everything that I release to my audience is the result of over 25 years of coaching and consulting experience and from working with leaders and Fortune 500 companies including Kimberly-Clark, Kraft, Aetna, etc. And so what I impart to you is something valuable, because this also comes from my personal experiences, some of which I've already been through and some of which I'm still going through. So please take good care of this information that you receive from me, share it with others who you know will also benefit from it, and put it to good use, apply it. So let me share with you now the secret formula to success. But wait, before I begin, let me establish first a foundation here on what success is all about. Success encompasses more than wealth. In fact, money is a tiny aspect of success. Success includes having good health, and that means having good health physically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. It also means having good relationships, and it means having good financial standing. So the formula I'm going to teach you is a formula towards true success. Not success that will just make you financially successful and then your personal life is going to be a mess. I'm going to teach you the formula to true success. So let's dive in. The secret formula to true success is P times 2 plus H equals success. That's P times 2 plus H equals success. Now let's go to the first P in the formula, and that is purpose. You were created for a purpose that only you can fulfill. This purpose is your mission here on earth. This is the reason why you are existing in this planet, why you're breathing, why you're living. So you were not simply created to live and die. You were created for a purpose. And this purpose is one secret to true success. There are many financially successful people who are empty. And that's because if you don't fulfill your purpose, you are not going to be fulfilled. You're going to be empty. And this purpose is connected to your uniqueness, and that uniqueness is connected to your true identity. This is why finding your purpose is not as easy as it may seem. Now, that true identity is rooted to your childhood. Who you were as a child, that is the closest you can get to your true identity. But this child and this true identity is buried behind layers of masks. And these masks are the result of many factors, including people's expectations of you, mindsets that you have formed about yourself in your mind, wounds, hurts, your painful experiences, things that you've learned, things that you've acquired, and so many other factors that have formed all these layers that conceal your true identity. So to find your purpose means that you have to remove these layers that are covering the true identity. Now, how do you do that? There is a saying in Proverbs. It's in Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh, so he is. Everything you have made up your mind or made up in your mind to believe, whether it's about people, it's about yourself, it's about situations, it's about the world, affects everything that you do. The biggest hindrance to your business success is not the lack of money, it is not the lack of opportunity, but unresolved issues. So there are underlying issues that need to be resolved. Two of the biggest fears of people starting a business are fears of failure and fear of rejection. So fears of failure and rejection. These are the two biggest fears of people transitioning to entrepreneurship. And if this is you, you need to break that. Otherwise, that in itself will sabotage any chance you have of success. And even if you gain financial success, the problem is if you do not resolve certain underlying issues, let's say rejection or issue of insecurity or issue of fear, if those do not get resolved, what happens is when you finally get your financial blessings, you are going to be controlled by money instead of you controlling the money. And there are two manifestations that money has controlled you. Either you are scared of money, so you are careless about it, you mismanage it, you don't want to have it. And this can really be subconscious. You may not even be aware of it, but you're just careless with money. So that means that money has controlled you. Or it can be the other way around. You are scared to lose money, so you are hoarding. You're hoarding everything. You don't want to let go of money. So what's going to happen, as I've said, is money is going to control you. Now, when you resolve these underlying issues, what happens is you become a good steward of money. You control the money instead of the money controlling you. And so you will learn how to multiply your resources. You will learn the difference between stewardship and ownership. So when you have the concept of ownership when it comes to success, you're thinking of everything as something you own. And so either you're careless with it or you're scared to lose it. You're just holding on to it. The concept of stewardship is different. When you start understanding this concept as a result of resolving underlying issues, you become a very good manager of those resources. You are not controlled by it, you are controlling it. And you're looking at it as something that has been entrusted to you, so you're going to be very wise in your moves. So this is what happens when you resolve those underlying issues when it comes to money and having money in your hands. Now, how do you resolve these issues? The first place to begin is to recognize that something needs to change. And do you know that problems are actually there as indicators that something needs to change? If you're sick, it is an indicator that something needs to change with your lifestyle, your diet, your exercise, your health in general. It can also be too much work, so you're so stressed and so it's affecting your health. So it is an indicator that something needs to change. If you're always broke, it is an indicator that something needs to change with your spending habits. If you're always ending up in abusive relationships, then something needs to change, probably with the way you look at yourself. So the first place to begin is to recognize that something needs to change. And then the next step would be to do something about it. Now, I'm going to give you some tips on how to go about it. Once you have reached the place that something needs to change, what do you do to be able to change? The first is stop playing the blame game. Stop playing the blame game. Take accountability for your own success. Stop blaming your parents for not providing well for you, or for not teaching you how to be a good steward of money, or for not teaching you how to be a good entrepreneur. Stop blaming the country for not giving you the opportunity that you deserve. Stop blaming other situations such as racism. Stop blaming other people around you. Stop blaming the situation. Stop blaming the environment. Stop blaming the culture. Stop blaming. And take accountability for your own success. It is so easy to play the blame game. It is so easy to point our finger on other people or situations, but that is going to keep you stuck. That is going to nurture whatever wounds you still have inside of you. That is going to trap you in your own prison cell. And so you are going to stay stuck in those unresolved issues. And then another thing that you can do, this is all tied up together. Another thing that you should do to implement change is to stop making excuses. Do you know that each time you say that you want something and you follow it up with, but I can't, that is an excuse. And whether you are aware of it or not, that excuse is actually a crutch. It is a crutch. It is easier to stay in a place we are familiar with than to step out to an unfamiliar territory. This is why people who are abused in their relationships still stay in those relationships, because it's easier to remain in places and situations that you are more familiar with than, again, to step out in an unfamiliar territory. So the excuse is actually, it's a crutch. It's your mind's way of saying, I'd rather stay here. I don't want to go anywhere else. And so that's what excuses do to us. So each time you say, oh, I really, really want to live in Hawaii, but I can't. Oh, I really want to be stronger, but I can't. Oh, I really want to be rich, but I can't. So all these excuses need to go. If you do want to implement change. Another thing that is very crucial in implementing changes so that you can resolve those issues is to release forgiveness. Okay, I say release forgiveness. This is more for you than it is for the other person. Releasing forgiveness doesn't mean that you're saying that what the other person or people did to you is right if it was so wrong. It doesn't make what they did wrong right. Releasing forgiveness means that you are cutting off from the control of that person over you. Each time you blame that person, or each time you think of that person and you get mad, or you still cry, or it just produces something negative inside of you. You just feel bad. You just feel negative. Then that means that that person still has control over you. Releasing forgiveness means you're not going to affect me anymore. I'm not going to allow you. Now, the second thing about forgiveness is that your feelings do not have to line up immediately with your decision to release forgiveness. Forgive and forget, that can take a long time. It may take forever. It may not even happen. Sometimes you will not really forget what a person has done to you. It's just that you choose to release forgiveness so that you will not anymore be controlled by what that person did. You may be able to forget in the future, but it is a process. So if you don't feel like forgiving, forgive. Release forgiveness. Because it doesn't have to do with what you feel. You are cutting off. You're making that decision. And even after you release forgiveness, and then it still goes back to you, you're haunted by memories, or all of a sudden something happens to you and you remember, just say, I release forgiveness. I release forgiveness. And you keep doing it, you keep practicing it, and before long, it is not going to affect you anymore. I recently heard from someone, it's actually from Robin Sharma, that there is a study from the University of London that says that it takes 66 days for you or for a person to develop a habit. So releasing forgiveness is a habit that will take 66 days before you really get into the habit of just releasing forgiveness. So release forgiveness. You deserve it. You deserve it. And this will help you resolve those issues. So the next P in the formula to true success, or the secret formula to true success, is something that I'm going to share in another video. What I've shared with you today is already a handful. I want you to really think about it, digest it, and apply it. So amongst those tips that I gave you on how to resolve issues, what spoke to you the most? And what can you start doing in the next 5 days? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a like and share it with those who you know will benefit from it and who you know will take good care of this information and these valuable tips to true success. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you won't miss any video I post on Wednesdays. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.